Hi students. In in previous class, we have discussed about features of Python. Yesterday, I've told about the flavors of Python also, and after that, we have discussed about features of Python. We have discussed. So today, we are going to continue with features of Python, and then after that, we are going to discuss about So after that, we are going to discuss about what are the applications we can develop in Python. And after that, we'll discuss about Python download, installation, all these we are going to discuss. And those are absent for those who missed previous classes. Like in previous classes, I've told only the basics of Python. So Python language is not started. I didn't discuss about data types, operators, then if condition. All these are not yet started. So data types also I didn't start. Tomorrow we'll discuss about Python keywords, Python data types, like how they'll work. All these we are going to discuss in tomorrow's class. So today we'll continue with the concepts. So those who have already registered for the course, I will send you the recorded videos to your mail ID. Today I will send, definitely I'll send. And also some notes also I'll send. And those who have missed for the previous classes, like 1-2 classes, then you can contact online team. They'll send you the link, video link, or else in YouTube these demos will be available. You can watch. So we'll continue with Python features. So yesterday we have discussed about flavors and features we have discussed. So today we'll continue with the remaining. So here, yesterday we have discussed up to here object-oriented programming, and today we'll continue with the other options. Here you can see extensible and integrated is there. So when we are working with Python, in a Python application, we can use other languages code. That possibility is there. In other languages applications, then Python code we can use it. So why? Because when you work with Python, Python is used for many other things also here. So when we are working with Python, Python is used for mathematical and numerical calculations, and Python is used for automation, and Python is used to handle big data. Then any application, any software we can develop using Python. Okay, all these we can do it. Like for example, if you take other programming languages, like if you take C, C++, C, C++ are used for system programming. So if you want to write programs and if you want to use them in Windows, in operating system, then C, C++ are used. And if you take .NET, so .NET provides high-level security for the applications what we develop. And if the applications are developed in Java, so Java applications works fast. So every language has got its own features. Python also is having features. Other languages also having their own features. So here what we can do is we can bring other languages features into Python. So into Python we can bring other languages features that we can do here. That we can do it. Okay. So in a Python application we can use C, C++ libraries, and we can use Java and .NET components. Java and .NET components we can use in Python application. In the same way, like we can use Python code in other languages applications, like Python code we can use it. That possibility is there here. And while working with here extensibility means here Python in Python applications other languages code we can use. And in other language, integrated means in other languages applications, we can use Python code. So here this will be a new experience for the programmers or developers. Why? Because is every time we are focusing only on one particular language, but here we'll work with cross language communication. So cross language communication means one language can communicate with another language, or code written in one language can communicate with the code written in another language. And here, when you are working with Python, now I'm explaining about ninth one, large standard library is there. So when you are working with Python, Python is having like hundreds of modules or thousands of modules. Okay, as I said before, so Python software is a lightweight software. So lightweight means write less, do more. Okay, in if you take Java, there we have to write hundreds of lines of code or thousands of lines of code, or else there we have to write longer lines of code. But in Python, we'll do very less programming, and here shorter lines of code will be there. Why? Because this Python Software Foundation or Python community, they have already developed hundreds of modules, or hundreds of libraries are already developed. So by using them, we can develop applications easily. So in Python, 90% of the work is already done. 90% of the coding is already done by Python community. Okay, from our side, we should give only 10% of the code we need to give. So with the existing modules or libraries, Python applications can be developed quickly. Fast application development we can see in Python. And here, 10th one, high-level language is there here. So when you are working with programming languages, like for example, if you take C, C++, or Java, .NET, if you take, so they are called as strongly typed languages. So when you take C language, C++, Java, .NET, they are called as a strongly typed programming languages. So when we say strongly typed languages, like according to the given data type, memory is allocated, and then values are stored in memory. Okay, so those are working with these languages. What I said now, like programmer should know about memory management, like how many data types are there, like how many bytes the data type will consume, like what values we should store, what is the range of the value. Like a programmer should know clearly about memory management, data types, then bytes, values, all this. Okay, like for example, in C language, if I give like this, int a, then char s of 20 is given, and here float b is given here. So in C language, we'll declare like this. In C, C++, Java, .NET, in the beginning of the program, we'll declare variables. Then after that, we are going to use in the project, in the application, we are going to use. So here I'm giving like this, int a. So in for variable a, it will preserve 2 bytes in the memory, 2 bytes. Okay. So in a variable a, we can store integer value. So in variable a, if I want to store characters, then it is not possible, because this C language or C++ or Java or .NET, they are strongly typed programming languages. So according to the given data type, we have to store the values. Okay. So here, when I say int a, in variable a, I can store only integer values. Okay. And here you can see char s of 20 means to store 20 characters, it will preserve 20 bytes in the memory. And here if I say float b, to store decimal values or real values, then b is given here. For variable b, it will preserve 4 bytes in the memory. So in C language, if I say int, then it is treated as int 16. Int 16 will say. Okay. So here 16 means we are showing in bits. Like 8 bits is equal to 1 byte. Like bits means zeros and ones. About bits, we are going to discuss in detail in while discussing about data types in operators also. We are going to discuss about bitwise operators. And here we are having a number system. In number system, we are going to discuss about a binary number system, and other are there. Other all will we are going to discuss. Okay. So here when we say int 16, it is 8 bits is equal to 1 byte. So it will take 2 bytes in the memory. Okay. So in my system, I'm using a Windows 10 Professional 64-bit. I'm using 64-bit. Like whoever is using operating system Windows, they are using a 64-bit operating system they'll use. So Python software is available in 2 bits, 32-bit and 64-bit. So it depends on the requirement. We can install any one. It can be 32-bit or it can be 64-bit. Like uh, programming, like writing the statements is same only, but only memory usage difference will be there. Okay. So in Python, int data type is there here. In Python, int data type is there. If I'm using Python 32-bit, or if I download Python 32-bit software and if I'm using it, then here int 32 will works. Okay. So whenever we are using integer value, if int data type is used, then internally it is int 32. So int 32 means 32 bits. So it takes 4 bytes in the memory, 4 bytes. Okay. So if I'm using 64-bit Python, then if when I'm using int data type, then it will use as int 64. Int 64 is used. With a float also same, like with other data types I'm saying. So int 64 means it will take 8 bytes in the memory. Okay. So base like when we are working with the programming is same only, but internally data types bytes difference we can see here. Okay. So here if I show this here, if I write ideally here, if you see this Python 38, and here you can see it is showing as 32-bit. It is showing. So I'm using a 32-bit Python. We can install 64-bit Python also. So when we discuss about the like when we discuss about installation and all, I'll show you. Okay. So here when you are working with Python and other scripting languages, they are called as a loosely typed language. Loosely typed Python is called as a loosely typed language. Like if I say strongly typed, here I can say weakly typed language. I do not want to use weakly typed language. Why? Because it is when I say weakly, then it is only for data types. Okay. Like here, that's why instead of weakly, I'm using loosely typed language. So loosely typed language means when we are writing Python program, then we are not going to use data types. When you are working with core Python, advanced Python, or when you are working with Django, wherever you are writing Python code, even in other courses also, their data types are not used. Programmer is not going to use the data types in the program. Okay. So when you take other programming languages like C, C++, Java, .NET, they are called as static data types. The data types what we use. So why they are called as static data types is memory is allocated, memory is preserved at compilation time. Okay. And here Python data types will call them as dynamic data types. So dynamic data types means when the program is running or when the program is being executed, then data types are assigned to the variables. So in Python, programmer need not focus on memory management, like what data type to use, how many bytes it will take, like what value we should store, what is the limit of that data type, like range of that data type. All these need not focus. So in Python, programmers need not focus on memory management. So memory management is done by Python. Python will internally do it. So Python data types will call them as dynamic data types. because when the program is being executed, at that time data types are assigned to the variables based on the data we are giving, or based on the information what we are giving, data types are assigned to the variables. So here when we install Python, so here we'll get two icons here. Like ideally batch mode is there and interactive mode is there. Two icons you can see here. So here when you say interactive mode, it is used to execute, it is used to check the features of Python, like how the modules are working, functions are working. And in this interactive mode, every line is executed immediately and then it gives a result. And here you can see ideally is there. Ideally means integrated development learning environment. So ideally is like batch mode. Batch mode means here we can write programs and then we can execute the programs. Batch is nothing but set of statements, collection of statements. We'll call it as batch, or we can say program also. So here I'm using interactive mode now. So here I'm using interactive mode. So here we'll get a prompt like this. So 3 greater than symbols is given. So here we can execute. Okay. So now here I'll type S equal to, then Hyderabad is given here. S equal to Hyderabad. Okay. So when I say S equal to Hyderabad, S is what? Variable. And Hyderabad is the value. We can use a single quotes or double quotations. We can use single quotes or double quotes. And here I'm not declaring a variable here. Like I'm not saying a string S or char S. I'm not declaring here. And here I'll say print S I'm using. Print function I'm using. It is showing Hyderabad. And then here, if I want to know the data type assigned to the variable, then here I'm using like this. Here you can see type of S is given. So type function is used to show what data type is assigned to the variable. Okay, because programmers are not assigning data types to the variables. But if I want to know what data types are assigned, in the beginning classes, we'll have that like a curiosity will be there. Like we will be like thinking like what data type is assigned. In beginning classes, we'll have that excitement. But after that, we will be knowing automatically. Like if I give like this, this is the data type. So now I'll say type S means it is showing, like it is showing as class str. Class str is given. Okay. So in Python, what all data types are there? Okay, like fundamental data types and collection data types are there, like value type data types and reference type data types. Like when I tell about keywords data types, we'll discuss about in detail. Okay, so in Python, what all data types are there? They are created using a class. Okay, they are created using class. In a C language, we can create a new data type using structures. In a C language, structures and unions are there. Using structure, we can create a new data type in a C language. So here we are using class here. Okay. So what all so here what all data types are there? All the data types are created using class. So when we say about class, those who know object-oriented programming, those who know C++ and core Java, you'll be knowing about class. So when I say class here, class contains variables and functions. If I create a class, okay, so class contains variables and functions. Variables are used to store values and the functions are used to perform operations like accepting the values, doing calculations, displaying the values. All these we can do it. So if I create a class or if there is a class, then we can create object. Object can be created. Okay, so when we say object, we can call it as a class variable. It is the variable given to the class, or we can say it is an instance of the class. Instance means copy of the class. Okay, or else it contains a memory address or memory location of the class. And when we say about this object oriented, like when we say about object here, object is itself a class. So they are not different here. Object and class both are same only, because object contains the address of the class. Object will always refers to class. Okay. So here class is there. I'm explaining all this. So as of now, like what is a class and what is object, I'm explaining here. Okay. Object is nothing but a variable. Now it is showing like this. And here I'll say a equal to 10, then b equal to 5, then so here once again I'm giving a equal to 10, b equal to 5, and c equal to a plus b is given here. So here I did not give variables, data types to the variables. Okay, a, b, I said c, I didn't give data types. Here I'm giving directly a value, b value, c value, c equal to a plus b. Then if I say c, c, or we can use print function c or print function. Okay, like this we can give. And here if I want to know what is the data type assigned to the variables, like a, b, or c, then here I'll say, here I'll use, here I'll say type of a. So this will show what is the data type assigned to the variable a. So it is showing as a class int. Okay, int data type is also created using a class. Okay, so creating data types in any language is not a separate mechanism like what we should not know. Okay, so data types means they can be created in using a class, using a structure, like that they can be created. It is showing like this. Okay, so here when we say about this Python, so Python will call it as a loosely typed language. Okay, why? Because here we are not going to use data types. Data types we are not going to use. Like a program or Python is going to assign data types to the variables. Okay, like loosely typed languages means many are there. Okay, like JavaScript is there, and many other languages, PHP is there. All are like, all we can say that they are loosely typed languages. Okay, so this feature is also completed. So now we are going to discuss about like what are the applications that we can develop in Python, that we'll see. Then after that we are going to discuss about installation, like all these we are going to see here. Okay, so when you are learning Python, then with Python you can develop different applications, or different projects can be developed. So here first one you can see here, GUI application. So GUI application means a graphical user interface applications. Okay, so GUI application can be called as a desktop application, or it is called as Windows application. Okay, so in my classes in advanced Python, you are going to learn about developing desktop applications, developing Windows applications. Like some of you may be having doubt where these desktop applications or Windows applications are used. In Andhra and in Telangana, like nearly 1 lakh small scale industries are there. Like all over India, nearly 14 lakhs small scale industries are there, like small companies or small businesses. In small scale industries, like desktop applications or Windows applications are used. They'll not use websites. Websites are not used. Okay, so whenever you want to develop applications for any small business or companies, then desktop application or Windows applications are used. So here you are going to learn how to design the form with the labels, text boxes, buttons, radio buttons. So here advanced Python will completely focus on desktop application and or Windows application. So we'll integrate desktop application with the database, sending the values, receiving the values. All these we are going to do it. Okay, so when desktop application or when Windows application is there, it can be used by one user at a time. Okay, so it is used in standalone computer, it is used in single computer, and it is used by one user at a time. Okay, 2-3 users cannot use it, because if it is a website, 2-3 users or any number of users can access the same website. Same website can be accessed by 1 lakh users or 2 lakhs users at a time. That possibility is there. So here web application development is there, second one. So using Python, we can develop websites or web applications can be developed. So in Python to develop websites, here different frameworks are there, like Django, then Flask, Bottle, Pyramid, then Pylons, then Web2Py, Turbo Gears, many are there. Okay, so here Django is there, like I am teaching Python and Django also. So Django is popular. So Django is a framework completely developed in Python. Okay, after learning Python, then you can join for Django, because it contains Python files or modules. Like that framework, Django framework contains Python files or Python modules are there. So when you develop a website, okay, then website is used in any network. So it can be intranet, or it can be extranet, or it can be internet, like anything. So when I say intranet, it is a LAN, local area network. So network within the floor in a building, or network in the entire building, we can call it as LAN. And extranet is there, we'll call it as MAN, metropolitan area network. So this is used to connect two different networks in the same location. Okay, like for example, if any company is having two offices in the same place, okay, then to connect those two networks, then extranet is used. Like for example, if the company is having two offices in Amirpet, one is in Maitri Vanam and another one is in Maitri Vihar in Amirpet, then if they want to connect two different networks in Amirpet in two different buildings, then they can use extranet. Then internet means we'll call it as a wide area network between countries. Some of you may think why I'm explaining all these basics. Okay, so like those who go to interviews as a fresher on any course, like sometimes they'll ask these basic things. Like interviewer may ask, what is the difference between a GUI application and desktop application and a website? So students may be knowing lot of things, okay, and students may be knowing many definitions about these, but at that time, if they are unable to give proper answer, then they may not get the job. Okay, that's why I'm explaining all this. And here using Python, you can work with data analytics. So data analytics means working with data science. Okay, so in data science, what they'll do is they'll take large volume of data and they will process it, and they will generate reports according to their requirement. So to work with data science, in Python, we can see many libraries. Libraries are available, like NumPy, then Pandas, then Scientific Python, Matplotlib, Seaborn. Many libraries are there. By using them, we can work with data science, or we can work with data analytics. Okay, and here we are saying about task automation. Fourth one I'm explaining. So Python is expert for automation. It is automation expert. Whatever work we are doing manually, that manual work can be done automatically using Python. Okay, so we can give automation in applications, in softwares, in devices, like in anywhere we can see automation. Okay, like that possibility is there. Like for example, using websites or any applications, if you want to send automated emails to the users, automated emails, like no one will write, it is auto generated. And if you want to send SMS alerts to the users, auto generated alerts, okay, then if you want to do the work automatically, then using Python, it is done. Like sitting in front of the system, opening the websites, opening the applications, typing the text, clicking on the button. So doing manually means it is very difficult. like banks or many companies, many organizations, like in websites, when we see online tickets booking and all these, like all will depends on auto-generated emails and auto-generated SMS only. So in that case, we can use Python. Python can be used. Here I'm just telling one or two examples. Like when we say about this, when we say about automation, 100% automation means it comes under robotics. Like when we use robotics, robots, then 100% automation will work. Like automation, we are listening in many in different areas. Like when we say about automatic, like in cars, in other devices, we are listening about this automation. Automatically, they should work. Even in bikes also, automation is they are being implemented. Like the devices will work and they will give the status. In latest bikes we are seeing, like they'll put one LED screen that will show the status of the engine. Like in latest bikes, in costly bikes, we'll be seeing all this. Okay, so to implement all these, then Python programming or automation is used. So when we say about 100% automation, robots, so like humanoid robots will be there, then autonomous robots will be there. Like humanoid robots means they can be used for domestic purpose. Like now we are seeing like everywhere robots we can see in future. Now also we are seeing in hospitals, in restaurants, like in police stations, they are putting robots. Like if any doubt, if anything to ask, robots will give the answer. All this is happening even in hospitals also, like to serve COVID patients. Like robots are taking the food, taking the medicines. All these they are doing it. Okay, and here when we say about robots, like here we can listen about like in robots, when we see like in hospitals, robotic surgeries will be there. Machines will do the surgery. And in automobiles, in manufacturing companies, machines will do all the work, entire work. Okay, so in that case, their robotic technology is used. Okay, when they are working with automation, 100% automation, then Python code is required. They have to use it. So here when we say about autonomous robots, like this robotic technology, like autonomous robots means they can take decisions by themselves and they can work. Like in war, like if they want to introduce robots, like Britain already conducted trial and they want to use the robots in war. Like if one country did that, other countries also will do it. So like when we say autonomous robots, they can take decisions by themselves, they will work. Okay, like they have shown one robo is there which is looking like a dog. They have named it as big dog. So it will go to the places where the soldiers cannot go. It will send the pictures, like it will send information to that like cantonment to that particular people. Okay, like for example, in India, like when we see border, like Pak occupied Kashmir, then LOC, and every time we have issues with China border and Pakistan India border, many issues will be there. Like soldiers may not go to that location in the month of November, December, Jan. The climate will be very, like it will be worst. So soldiers cannot go there. They cannot stay there. Okay. So in that case, if autonomous robots are there, they can send. Then they can identify who is coming into crossing India border. If they want to find out all this, then robots will be very, very useful. So like they have shown another robo is there, which is looking like bird, butterfly, all this. Like robo means we used to think like it will be like human appearance with head, two hands, two legs, like that. But a machine, a robo can be in any shape. And like in the future, we can see like driverless cabs, then driverless buses, all this. So then in that case, this autonomous robots are robotic technology is being used so that they can take decisions by themselves, and they will work. Like when we say about a drone, or when we say about any other devices, like there this robotic technology they have to use. When they use a robotic technology, then they can take decisions by themselves, and they can work automatically. So when we say about automation or 100% automation, or when we say about a robotic technology or humanoid robots or autonomous robots, then in all these, this Python coding is used. Okay, so here, like future is about with Python and other Python training courses. Okay, because whatever we are going to implement, then Python is being used. Like I'll give you one more example, like in real time, how it is going to work. Like for example, in ships, like if they want to know the flow of the water, like when they are going to the in river or sea, when they are going, and if they want to know whether it is good to travel or not, like to know the status of that flow of the water. Sometimes it may be dangerous also. Okay, so to know that flow of the water, then they can have one application used in developed in Python that will show like how the water is, like whether it is dangerous to travel. Okay, and that and the that application will show the status of that person who is doing the driving. Okay, so it will show like whether that person is in good condition. Like even human behavior also, it can identify what is how is the condition is. Like to know all this using Python, it is done. So using Python we can stop the accidents also. Okay, like in water or anywhere, like on a road, or else in water, or else in air. Like whenever we want to stop the accidents, whenever we want to come out from all the problems, then using Python software it is possible. We can do it. Okay, so here I've told about automation, 100% automation, like robotics, all these I've told. And here I'm going to explain about task automation. So in from 1990s onwards, Python is used for task automation from 1990s. Okay, even now also in real time, in companies, in IT companies and in other companies, Python is used for task automation. So in IT companies and in other companies, they will be maintaining servers. Okay, so they will be maintaining servers. When they are maintaining servers, then they will appoint system administrators, network administrators, database administrators, like all these will be there. Okay, like whatever work done by the administrators. So on behalf of administrators, then Python can do that work for them. Okay, whatever tasks that they are doing in the server, like whatever tasks that are done, Python can do the tasks on behalf of administrator. Okay, so Python can do almost like all the tasks it can do it. Then administrators will have time to focus on other issues. Okay, like they can monitor, they can watch like how the transactions are running. Okay, and they can check like how the like whether any deadlocks are occurred or not, like how to resolve the deadlocks. They can focus on other issues that occurs in the server. Okay, so here let us take a database administrator. Okay, so when we say database administrator will maintain the databases of that company, or else the databases of some other clients. Okay, so database administrator will create databases, then will maintain the databases, then will work with backup, restore, then working with then patching, then creating users, giving permissions. Like all these is done by the database administrator. Okay, so database administrator will work with all the database related tasks. So when we take any company like IT companies, or when we take other companies like banks, insurance companies, any company if you take, or even if you take government organizations, okay, like a central government or state government or other organizations, they will maintain servers. They'll have their own servers. Okay, so they will maintain two servers here, production server and standby server. So production server means which is under production, like users are going to access the data from the production server, like we can call it as a live server. Okay, and a standby server means a substitute. So if anything happens to production server, or if a production server is down, then standby server should come to live. So that is used. So we can call them as primary server and secondary server. Okay, so they will not rely on one server. They'll keep on standby server. They'll keep. Okay, so why they'll keep two servers is like if the server is down, then downtime should be reduced. If the server is down for 2 hours or 3 hours, client work will stop. Okay, like loss to the client only, customers. So in that case, to reduce the downtime, they'll keep one substitute or standby server. They'll keep. Okay, so when if they're having two servers, so they'll not keep in the same place, like in the same floor in the building. So they may be in different floors in the building. They can be in different buildings. They can be in different cities. They can be in different countries also. That is also possible. Okay, so if they are having two servers like this, like if anything happens, like due to natural calamities, like due to flood or tsunami or earthquakes or fire accidents or a terrorist attack, if if data in one server is lost, then they can have backup. They can take backup from another server. That possibility is there. So the what the DBA should do is, I think all are following what I'm explaining. Okay, so what the DBA should do is, DBA should manage, DBA should maintain two copies of the same data, two copies of the same data in a production server and standby server. So DBA should take data from the production server and send it to the standby server. Like we'll say backup and restore. We'll say backup and restore. Okay, so when this is done, like this task should be done for every 2 minutes, like 1 minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, depends upon the data. Okay, so data should not be lost. So if a DBA wants to do this task for every 1 minute or every 2 minutes, then a DBA cannot do any other task. So he will be engaged with this work only. Okay, then he cannot go out for even for 10 minutes, because this task is like that. Like this, a DBA will do many tasks. Okay, so if a DBA thinks like this we cannot do manually, let us go for automation, then Python is used. If a database administrator knows Python, then DBA will write the program. Okay, and that program will be scheduled. To schedule the program, different tools are available, like cron tab, AT, bell, then control M, like all these are there. Like using these tools, softwares, they will schedule the program according to the given schedule. There again two types will be there, one time and recurring. Recurring means many times it will execute. So they will schedule it, then every time for every 1 minute or 2 minutes the program will execute, and then it will do the task. If a DBA don't know Python, then they will tell the requirement to the Python development team. They will write the program, and that is scheduled in the server according to the given schedule. That will run automatically. Okay, so when this is running, then easily they can maintain two copies of the same data. So to do this, like they are having different mechanisms here, like database replication, log shipping, database mirroring, many other things are there. By using these mechanisms, they can maintain two copies of the same data in production server, and then in a standby server they can maintain. See, here I've told only just one example, like how this task automation is done. Like whatever works done by the whatever tasks done by the administrators, all the works are done automatically by using Python. Okay, so then like whatever burden is there on administrators, like it can be reduced with Python scripting. Now, when we see like even SQL developers also, they will use a Python scripts to do the developer tasks, not only administration tasks, even developer tasks also it is done by Python. Like those who know about it, database administration and all, like in latest versions of Oracle and in latest versions of other databases, like complete automation we can see, complete automation. So if they want to know about this automation and all, then they have to think about this Python coding, Python scripting, because in servers Python script will run for doing the tasks. Okay, so now here I am explaining about the fifth one. Here you can see test cases implementation. So when we are developing applications in Python, then here we can write test cases for unit testing. So unit testing means page by page we can do testing. Okay. So here when we are developing the application, we can generate the test cases and then we can execute them. Like some will be executed successfully, some will fail, some may fail, some may be in a process. Like all these information we can get. So whatever testing procedure is there, the testing procedure or process is simplified in Python, that we can do it. As I told before, like in Python, here we are having Python testing tools or frameworks are there, like PyTest, Splinter, all these are there. So using these frameworks or testing tool frameworks or tools, then we can test the code, we can test the applications in cross platform, in different operating systems we can test, in different browsers also we can test using Python testing tools or frameworks like PyTest, Splinter, all these are there. So we can use them. Okay, and using Python, here we can develop scientific applications, like scientific applications where mathematical and numerical calculations are done, or these are used in many organizations, like for research and development. And these applications are used in ISRO, NASA, DRDO, like ICRISAT, like many are there. In all these organizations, scientific applications can be used. And here we can develop network applications also. So network applications means they are used to develop distributed applications. Network application, distributed application is same only. So distributed application means it is a spread in network and it will allow the users to communicate with one another. So communication means exchanging of information, like sending and receiving of data. All these we can do it. So in networking applications, we can see audio, video streaming, like all these are possible. So network applications examples are GoToMeeting is there. So now I'm using GoToMeeting, like GoToTraining or GoToMeeting. So here we are able to communicate. So here you can see audio is possible, video streaming is there, like screen sharing is there, webcam is there, and all these are text sending text messages, all these are possible. This is a network application, like we can see Zoom, and next Skype is there, net meeting applications, video conference applications. In mobile we are using WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is WhatsApp is a network application. So it will allow people to communicate with one another. So in that case, Python is used. Like whenever you want to develop various types of applications, Python we can use it. And coming to this eighth one, so using Python we can develop games or animation applications can be developed. Like before, when programmers used to work on projects, they used to develop business applications, commercial applications. But now gaming industry is also increasing. So if you want to develop games or animation applications, then by using Python it is possible. So it is Python. In Python we can see different libraries. So by using them we can like Pygame, then WX Python, other things are there, other libraries. So by using them, applications applications or projects can be developed. Okay. So this is about applications what we can develop in Python. I have told a few things related to these applications. Okay. And after this we have to discuss about Python software installation, interactive mode, batch mode, then keywords, data types, like all these are there. All these we are going to now I'm stopping, and tomorrow we are going to discuss about the like all these things: Python software installation, then interactive mode, batch mode, then basic data types. All these we'll discuss. So those who have attended today, if today is your first class, then if you register for this course, I will send all the previous class videos and notes also I'll send. Otherwise, you can talk to Ask Online team for send the link, YouTube link, so that you can watch the previous class videos. And those who have already registered for the course, then today I will send you the recorded videos, today's class video and previous class videos. I will send, and I will send you the notes also. Okay. So, okay, students, like new students, if any doubts are there, you can ask. New students, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. So this course duration is 2 months, core Python and advanced Python. So 2 months will be there. So regarding fees and everything, you please talk to online team, register for this batch, so that I can send, I can share videos and notes to your mail IDs. So here one student is asking about Python certification. Like all the companies will not ask about certification. Like in that one exam will not be there. No, many exams will be there. For basic level one exam, after that for web application another exam, like that many exams will be there. So if you are good in subject, then the companies will definitely take. They will not ask, do you have certificate or not. In interview, if you give all correct answers, and if they are happy with your answers, they will definitely give you a job. Then they will not ask if you have certification. In India, they will not ask. Here that tradition is not there. In other countries, they may ask about certification, they may give importance. But here in India, they will see the talent. Okay, students, I'm signing off. Tomorrow we'll continue. Okay. After completion, you can do certification, your wish. If you are interested, you can do. I will give you the question and answers related to certification. 500 question and answers are there. I will send to the students. If you want, I can give. Okay.